So in number 14, when you go to your modules, which I'm not there yet, I'm actually on assignments. When you go to modules and underneath the narrative one, you should have, we're on number 14, but on number 2, writing pre-assessment part 2. This one, writing pre-assessment part 2. Okay, you want to click on that. And underneath that, you should have the narrative that you first wrote. Okay, I have graded them. I have them for my own information because I want to see how your writing improves as we go. You are going to take this narrative you've already written and you're going to make improvements on it right now. If you click on this load writing pre-assessment part 2 in a new window, it should load up your previous narrative. Okay, that's fine. We don't want to edit it. What we want to do is copy and paste it. No, you do not want to make a copy. Okay. The problem is you don't want to make a copy. Bryant, what's your question, bud? Then that means you... So it doesn't show it there. We'll have to go to your Google Drive. So if it's not there, I'll show you how to get to it in your Google Drive. So you're going to want to copy and paste what's on this document. Does everyone know how to copy and paste? Yes. Hopefully you do. You do not need the instructions. You need the part that you actually wrote. You're going to copy it, and then you're going to go back to your modules, go to assignment 14, adding dialogue to your narrative. Okay, and then it has a new narrative in there for you. I don't want you to restart from scratch. The only reason why you would is if you don't have it completed. So once you go here, it should have a new file attachment for you, correct? You want to click on the narrative, personal narrative rewrite, because you're going to rewrite parts of this. Now listen to me, and this is for some of you already stressing because you have to redo something and you don't like redoing things. Kendall, look at me. You do not have to rewrite the entire story. Okay, for those of you worrying, trust me, Kendall, it wouldn't just be you. I'd also be directing it to Haley as well. She's just a quieter worrier than you. Okay, you do not have to rewrite the entire story. If you read the directions above, it says this: copy and paste the document into the assignment. So you want to copy and paste what you've already done. Then add 3 pieces of dialogue to your narrative with correct structure using the dialogue cheat sheet and classroom instruction. We've practiced this a bunch. You're going to actually use it in your own writing. So some of you, only 3 areas of writing, of dialogue. Now, that dialogue can be back and forth between several people. You all have said this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if there's dialogue inside of a story, does it make it more interesting? Yes, you're only saying no because you don't want to do more work. It isn't going away. You enjoy reading dialogue over them just giving a description. Okay? So once you open up your personal narrative rewrite, you're going to copy and paste that rewrite, the original writing you have into it, and then you're going to add 3 pieces of dialogue. You can add more to make the dialogue carry itself, but you will want to add more, or you want to add at least 3. Now, what I will need you to do for me is that I will need you to highlight the dialogue changes that you made. If you need help highlighting, let me know. Brooke? When do I have it set for being due? I have to go to a different page to actually find it. But I think I have it set for tomorrow after class. It shouldn't take that long, should it? If you're just adding... It should not. It should not take a ton of time. But the dialogue doesn't just have to go at the end, nor will it make sense just to put dialogue at the end. You're going to have to find the spot in the story that works best to add it. Now, keep in mind, when you switch speakers, have you noticed what happens when one person talks and then they switch to another person? What happens? Does it stick? What's that? Does it stay the same paragraph or does it make a new paragraph? Makes a new paragraph. Every time you switch speakers, you have to have a new paragraph for that person talking. Yeah. It's because you're sharing a different idea from a different location. That's what paragraphs really are about. They're about changing major ideas. Well, if you're changing between person to person, you're changing major ideas. So you have your dialogue sheet to work on.
I don't know how to change it.
And then you have, that's why I'm giving you time to think about where you can. Here's a little bit of tip, because Aiden just, you said the exact right thing that I'm looking for. I don't know where to change it at. In your part of the story where you know you were just trying to get through it because it was kind of boring, add dialogue. Sincerely.
I don't even know what we said.
Well, you may have to reread it.
No,
Make it up.
I don't remember.
Just, okay, you don't have to have the exact quotes of what people say. Hold on. You don't have to have the exact quotes of what people said. You're just adding in dialogue to add additional flavor to the story. I mean, even in a personal narrative, even in like an actual story, I doubt they recall the exact words that are what were being said, but they're trying to get as close as they can, or at least carry the general theme and idea. Does that make sense? You want to at least carry the same presence, the same idea through your story by using dialogue. Okay? Does that help?
No.
Is it just because you actually have to think through what you wrote instead of just putting stuff down?
Yeah.
Makes a real difference in your writing, doesn't it, when you have to think through it?
It does.
That's why I'm having you do it. Kylie.
On my thing, if I already have dialogue, but I didn't put it in the correct way,
Correct it and highlight it. Yep. If you already have dialogue and you just don't have the right format, correct it and highlight
Can
it.
you highlight everything?
Okay, so in your document, and I'll show you how to highlight so it's there for everyone. So I have opened up the personal narrative document. I'm hoping I don't write over anyone's stuff. Probably won't. But in your personal narrative, when you have something typed out, okay? Let's do this. Writing with dialogue allows the author, let's say writer, the writer to tell the story without having to just describe details. The characters can help carry the story by giving, let's try by giving conversational pieces. Okay, and let's say I want to highlight my new information. So I'm going to outline it, drag over the top of it and highlight it. And then, where'd my toolbar go? Where did my toolbar go? Give me just 1 second, Brooke, and I'll come back to your question. My toolbar has disappeared. Probably underneath more tools. Why does this not show my toolbar? Any suggestions?
You have to click down on an arrow. The green arrow or the blue arrow all the way to the.
Yeah, that's just going to suggest edits. It's not going to highlight.
No, go up the green, the blue arrow that you're about to.
Yep, just going to add comments.
No, not that. The blue arrow at the top. That one, yeah.
No, That doesn't do that.